Nothing is true anymore. Nothing's true anymore.
Is crypto dead? Yeah, give
Gold
us a teaser,
and silver
Clem.
are getting near their bottom. They're not there yet. They're getting close. And when they get close...
Clem Chambers, founder of NewFN, joins us once more. Clem, may the markets be as hot as the weather where you're based right now.
Man.
And
only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. The Italians don't care to. The French, they wouldn't dare to. In Monaco, the bankers go and very little work is done, but only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun.
I wonder if that's slowed down trading activity in Europe.
For sure. Summer doldrums.
That and summer vacation. Summer doldrums has not hit this side of the pond here. We've got a very volatile day on Friday. Nasdaq's down 1.2%. The Standard & Poor's down 1%. Clem, the semiconductors are selling off. And I led with this a couple times this week because it's continuously selling off. The semiconductor index from VanEck, SMH index, is down 20% since the middle of June. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's flat, gold is still around $4,000, and Treasury yields are up. It looks like there is a fear that interest rates are going up, and due to the reignition of the Iran war, oil prices may continue. That seems to be the pivot over the last couple of weeks. What's your read on current sentiment?
Okay, right. So people don't get AI. They think it's all about large language models, which it isn't. And they're worried that China's going to give them away and Anthropic and all those guys are going to have a problem making any money. No, it isn't. AI is all about the equipment to run AI, which is all the way down from the LLMs right the way down to the bottom. Elon Musk didn't buy umpty quadrillion, zillion dollars worth of NVIDIAs because he thinks the models are important. Is you've got to have computers to run it. And, you know, you go on ChatGPT and I'm going to want to run the smart model on this. Half an hour later, you've got an answer.
Yeah.
Well, if you had the hardware, it would be like that. It's all about the hardware. And that's where this is all going. So the chips and the CPUs and the hard drives and the air conditioning and the wires and the cables and the networks and the buildings, that's going to go off the dial. But people are still thinking it's all about how much OpenAI is worth and how much Anthropic is worth. Funnily enough, guess who's licensing all the hardware for trillions and zillions off Elon? Because it's all about that. And, you know, you can't buy Anthropic. You can't buy OpenAI, but you can buy Hewlett-Packard. You can buy Cisco. You can buy the hardware guys. You can buy the hard disk guys. You can buy the memory guys. You can buy the aircon guys. You can buy the shed guys. You can buy the copper guys. You can buy the transformer guys, the bulldozer guys. And you can buy Goldman Sachs, who's going to be handing out fiat to all these people to build this stuff out. So, you know, the penny will drop on that in a few weeks and it'll go, boop, probably September.
I've seen some commentary. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Gold and silver, people losing wars are selling their gold. Guess who that is?
People losing wars. Oh boy, you're gonna get me in trouble. Who's losing this war? I think we know.
Well, I think there's a certain country, you know, that's got a lot of gold and mines a lot of gold that's having to sell it because they're not getting on very well. And people keep blowing up their infrastructure. And then there's this funny little country in the Middle East who's, you know, got a pinch point on super tankers that in a year's time there won't be any going around there because no one will need them. And they've got gold and it's parked in Beijing because that's how they buy their little motors for their paper planes that go blow shit up. Yeah. And so, you know, if you lead up to war, gold goes that away. When you're in war, it goes that away because you've got to spend the currency. You put the currency in your central bank because you think there's going to be one. And then when you're in it, you have to sell it to buy stuff and it goes down, right? So you've got two big countries selling gold like crazy. And let's put it under pressure, right?
Yeah. Well, we talked about this a lot, how gold is for war. It doesn't seem to be that gold is for war this year. Now, does it?
No, it absolutely does. Gold is for war. When you've got one, you're spending it. And if you think you're going to have one, you're buying it. Gold is for war. We're going to have a war. We better buy gold. Up it goes. Oh, we're in a war. We better start selling it to buy stuff, you know, to buy those things that go bang. Yeah, we've got to pay with it in gold. Gold goes down. Gold is for war. You buy it before you have one and you sell it when you've got one. Gold is for war.
Okay. Well, what else is for war right now? Are you long oil? Oil's at $81. It's been on the rebound ever since new oil tankers have been struck in the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, look, I listen to oil. I don't tell it what to do. It's not listening to me. And it's not up, is it, really? So what is that telling you?
You tell us.
Well, I'm telling you, it says no big hairy deal. Yeah.
Right.
You can imagine gold at $200 a barrel because something really bad has happened. $80? It's inconvenient. It's inconvenient. That's what oil is telling you. Oh, this is inconvenient. Yeah. Gold tells you something. Oil tells you something. Listen to the market. It tells you no big hairy deal. It's wrong. The market's so wrong. It should be five. No. That's a gigantic market. It's just a gigantic market. It's telling you that there's not a problem. Well, you can work out why there isn't a problem. And then you can say, oh, look at that. Oh, imagine what that all means. Or you can come up with your own theories. That's what speculation's about. So what I would say, already saying, it's not a big hairy deal. Well, it could be. Obviously, things could transpire for it to be a big hairy deal. There's three things America can do. Run away, that'd be inconvenient. Yeah. Invade, ooh, that'd be convenient. Siege, that works. So you got a siege. Well, what happens in a siege? You cut off the guy you don't like, and they wither. And in a year's time, that they're not going to need the Strait of Hormuz, or 18 months' time. How long does it take to lay loads of tubes from A to B? Yeah, when you're in a hurry, when there's a war on. Yeah. And then you don't need the Strait of Hormuz, do you? And you just sit there and starve them out. That's what a siege is. And that's what they're in. So people need to think about, this is a siege. What happens next? How am I going to invest for there to be a siege? And that's the dynamic right now. Well, Iran can start throwing paper planes that go bang at lots of people in the Middle East. But every time they do that, they're going to get landed on, aren't they? Big time. And before you know it, they're going to have not many paper planes to throw. I mean, I know people in Dubai and they say nothing. It's like nothing's happening. Yeah. So, it becomes a norm. And when it's a norm, it's all over, isn't it? Nobody cares. And it's only that people care that means that people care. But when people say, oh, page 3 of the newspaper or whatever the modern equivalent is, oh yeah, somebody dropped one of those things on something that went food.
Right.
We don't care. Well, we're all halfway there already, aren't we?
Before we continue with the video, let's talk about a company that's building serious gold leverage for the long term. Our sponsor today, Stellar Gold, is sitting on 3 major Canadian projects. Tower and Pullback are among the largest undeveloped gold sites in the country. The Tower project alone could be worth $2.5 billion after tax at a $3,200 gold price assumption. And if prices go higher, so does its value. Pullback spans over 1,000 square kilometers of greenstone deposits and could be Canada's next big gold camp. They also have Hollinger Tailings, a cleanup project that could deliver near-term cash flow. Across all projects, they've drilled over 16 million ounces of gold, which would cost over $2 billion to replicate today. With a seasoned team, Stellar Gold is one company to watch. Scan the QR code here on screen or visit stellargold.com/David Lin to learn more. Of the things that are off their highs, gold coming down 30% from $5,500. Bitcoin down almost 50% from its highs. The semiconductor stocks down 20% as an aggregate from earlier in June. And Mag 7 stocks, a lot of them, 3 of them are down year to date. Of all the things that have corrected from their highs, either earlier last year in 2025 or earlier this year, which do you think has the strongest chance of a rebound to new highs later this year?
New highs? Well, there's no way that silver and gold are going to make new highs. Maybe it might take 10 years for that. I mean, that happened.
10 years for gold to retrace 5,500 again?
Yeah, why not? Why not? When the last time it made a high, how long did it take gold get back to 800 after whenever 78 or whenever it was? Took the best, well over a decade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why did it get there? It got there because there was going to be a thing with Taiwan. Well, if that gets back on again, it'll go real quick. But China, I think's worked out that all it has to do is do nothing and win. So it's going to do nothing and win. Yeah. And so, it's like China has, I don't know if you know this, 250% more electricity than America.
Yeah.
AI is electricity. If you're smarter than your opponent, you win. So America's got to put on a lot of electricity, a hell of a lot of electricity. And it's trying to do it. It's working very hard to do it. But it's got to go all in. All China's got to do is nothing and win. So that's what we're seeing in the future. Now, America's going to go all in, and that's going to be massive for the American economy. It has to be massive, because if it isn't massive, that's all over, isn't it? So if you back America, then, and it does what it needs to do, you're going to make a lot of money. If people get into power in America that just say, oh, no, we don't care, let them, they're our friends, let them take over, we don't need to be the number one. Well, then it's all over, isn't it? And so you have to come up with a different strategy. But I think America has gone all in. Europe is going to go all in. And we're going to have this economic struggle. And that's going to mean huge growth, large inflation, big growth, bubbles, boom, bubble, busts. Yeah. And the technology's out there to make amazing things happen. AI's out there, robotics out there, quantum's out there, fusion is out there, allegedly. Yeah. Any of that thing could add a naught to everything we're doing right now. Or, so there's two noughts to be added, robotics and AI. So what do you want to be? You want to be short? I don't think so. You want to be passive? That's not a great idea. You've got to be long. You've got to be on the front foot, as the English would say when they play their obscure cricket game. You've got to be engaging, trying to work out the thing that's going to, in the next 10 years, is going to go from 1 to 10. And that's not difficult in 10 years. Most people go, I want a 5-bagger this week. Not so easy. But, picking your spot for what's going to be 10x in 10 years, that's where the money is. And that's where the opportunity is. And it's going to be inflationary, right? So it's going to be good for precious metals, but not like that. Yeah. And it's going to be good for people that are in the value chain for reindustrialization and AI. And there's, lots of people out there which are at low values and fantastic names, Hewlett Packard. I mean, all those hard drive people that couldn't get arrested 18 months ago have all gone up 10x, right? Oh, what do? They make hard drives. Do they need hard drives? Oh, yeah. Do they need cables? Oh, yeah. Do they need aircon? Oh, yeah. Do they need racks? Oh, yeah. Do they need network? Oh, yeah.
So the AI, oh, yeah. The AI trait isn't slowing down, is it? Because one argument I've read, going back to my comment earlier, is that it just looks like the end user is a little more price conscious now, which is why we're seeing a pullback in the semiconductor stocks. Basically the first line in the sand for the entire AI ecosystem.
There's no limit to the demand of intelligence. People need to understand that. You come second, you're toast. There is no second place. They will boil the oceans. I keep saying this. I've been saying this for a year, and people are picking up on that phrase. They will boil the oceans. Yeah. So what does that mean? Let me give you an example. You might find this bizarre. I know 2 people in their early 60s that are burning thousands of dollars of AI tokens to build software that they could never do themselves because they had to go to third-party kids on drugs with earrings that wouldn't deliver the software. Now they're writing it themselves, and they're spending thousands because it is now the ability to write a website and a piece of code and an app is now within the range of a barely technical 65-year-old. Think about that. Think about the consequences of that, right? Now, you put that in the hands of a highly competent programmer who's got earring in his nose, doesn't smoke weed, and is highly motivated. He's doing 20 times the code of a normal programmer. Well, okay, so 10 of those programmers who are swinging the lead their whole lives are going to perish. But the other 10 are going to generate 100 times more software, 100 times more value. What does that do to your economy? He explodes it. And if you've got a load of old crumbly 60-year-olds like me suddenly writing the code they wanted to do all their lives, spending thousands because they don't care, finally they can actually get access to this technology. What does that do to your economy?
Okay, speaking of the economy, perfect segue. Economic outlook is worsening, says this article on CNBC.
Must be
Despite a
true.
booming stock market, improving inflation numbers, the public is depressed about the economy. As depressed about the economy as it has been since the years just after the pandemic, and increasingly concerned about the cost of everyday goods. According to a latest CNBC All-America Economic Survey, the results continued deeply negative approval numbers for President Trump. Only a modest advantage for Democrats when it comes to the public's preference for control of Congress. The survey of 1,000 adults nationwide, with a margin of error of plus or minus 3.1%, found that 61% of the public is pessimistic about the current state of the economy. I will say that 1,000 people do not represent a nation of over...
I wouldn't care if it's a million, David. Look, fear is the mind killer. Yeah, believe that, and be the rabbit in the headlights, and get run over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm gonna sit there and die. Yeah. Okay. If you want to be depressed and miserable, you want to sit there and be a deer in the headlights. Yeah, read social media, read the media. It's doom. It's all over. It's finished. It's the end. We're all gonna die. Yeah. Meanwhile, the young people are out there drinking and having fun, and doing stupid stuff and falling in love and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And having a good time. And there you are. You're 40. You're feeling a little bit disorientated. You're reading the media and you want to slit your wrists. Well, stop reading the media. Just crack on. There's never been a better time. Look, I study a bit of history. Let's go back to 1915. What's your life expectancy? 47 years.
Yeah.
You have 5 kids. 3 are going to be dead. Get an infection. You prick your finger on something a bit rusty. You get blood poisoning. You die. Right? And now here we are, living to 84 and moaning. And all our kids get to adulthood and we're moaning. Oh, I can't buy a house because I'm 25. Yeah. Give me a break. You're going to live to 80, you're going to live to 90 rather than die at 45. Look at all the stars in the 60s, all the film stars. They didn't make it past 50. Yeah. So, yeah, be negative. Read all the social media. Get on Twitter and have a nervous breakdown. See how good that will do you. Yeah. Junk all that. Watch David and people that say good things are on the way, because they are. This is the biggest thing to happen since the steam engine. Well, you can be a peasant and go, I'm a Luddite. Oh, no, steam engines. Oh, no, what we're going to do? Oh, I don't like that. Oh, they're going to build a building near me. It's going to go buzz. Oh, no. Or you can get on the wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not. Get left behind by it. So
Okay.
there's the quick and the dead, David. K-shaped economy. The active and the passive. The passive are toast. The active are going to do great. And they're watching your show because they need to have guidance to what they're going to do. Get on the bus. Get on the train. Get active. Never been a better time.
There's a lot of fear online, right? I just quoted a survey where people were feeling optimistic. 61% of adults surveyed. Okay, but the stock market is still near all-time highs. The article opened with that correct statement. Is there a discrepancy between the market and the economy right now, where do you think one leads the other and eventually they'll converge?
Well, I mean, I think if people feel things are really bad and terrible, if they stop looking at the media, they'll cheer up and it won't seem so bad. If you, it's like, it's a pestilence, absolute pestilence. Yeah, just pick 5 articles at random. What are they going to tell you? You're going to get a disease, you're going to die, somebody got killed. Don't fill your mind with terrible garbage. Don't put that in your brain. Don't put it in your mind. I mean, it's awful, absolutely awful. Yeah. And of course, if you watch all that stuff, you will feel bad and you will be depressed and you will be pessimistic. And guess what? You will be crushed.
Yeah.
If you're optimistic, no pessimist ever got rich. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And some people say they never got poor. They bloody well did. Yeah. You've got to be on your front foot. You've got to be positive. This is a breakthrough situation. You're either the quick or the dead. Be the quick. It's all there to be had. It's almost practically free. Your show, which will give you all this fantastic comment from people that are really, really, really smart. All right, some doomsters. But I mean, people at the top of their game. How many people are watching it, David? 40,000? If some cat falls down a well, it'd be 5 million views, right? You've got to be in that cohort that's watching your show, that are on their front foot. They want to know the way out of the maze. Yeah, because outside of the maze, I tell you, the grass is green.
What is the biggest structural shift for an investor in 2026 versus 5 years ago, let's say?
Well, we're in this crazy revolutionary period. Before that, I mean, it's a good point, right? So 2008, it's the end of the world. Go long, stay long. How did you do? What was the media saying? Oh, it's going to be a crash. It's going to be a crash. Oh, it's a terrible world. Oh, it's going to be a crash. There's going to be another crash. Oh, there's more crashes coming. Oh, it's nearly going to be a crash. Somebody says there's going to be a crash. Yeah. And 8 years later, not 8 years later, 18 years later, you're rich because you didn't read and believe in any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was it wrong to be long? When was it wrong? When was it right to be a pessimist? When was it right to believe that the dollar was going to die? When was it right to believe that the American economy was finished? When was it right to believe that it was a crash coming? Never. And that's all you'd be reading.
I've been thinking, okay, how do investors get ahead in the age of AI? In the age where Claude or ChatGPT can be programmed to trade for you, or at least provide automated trading signals. I mean, where's the edge for investors now?
The edge is using it. The whole world's out there not using it. The whole world's out there watching soccer. The whole world's out there going down the beach. The whole world's out there watching social media and who's got the latest lip job, right? AI is brilliant. I mean, let me give you an example. Okay, I was in my horizontal desk at 6:30 morning AM over here in Monaco. And I saw this chart of a recruitment company. It's the world's worst chart. It was like that. I thought, what the devil's going on there? I went on to my AI and said, tell me all about that. Why has that gone down? And it said, it's gone down because blah, 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 it's the end of the world and nobody wants their stuff anymore, blah, 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 blah. Completely wrong, of course. And I said, who else are like that? And it gave me another two companies that were very, very similar. I looked at the charts. They all correlated beautifully. And I thought, well, I'm going to sit there and wait for them to go sideways. And when they start to tick up, I'm going to bail in. Well, funny enough, 4 days later, they went pop. So I bailed in. I'm 15% better off. It's a fantastic, there's this genius that will give you the information you want. Just don't believe them. But it's the best research assistant you could ever possibly want. And who's using it? Hardly anybody. Are they asking it stupid questions? Yes. Are they getting stupid answers? Yes. Are they asking it smart questions? No. It's there. It's at your fingertips. I mean, does anybody believe that? No.
By the way, this is a remarkable. I just need to get your reaction to this. Trump media pitched $100,000 monthly fee for a fast feed of president's posts.
Well, okay? I've got to tell you, Jay Powell would say that's not legal.
Jay Powell would say that's not legal. Well,
yeah, when they said blah 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 blah, we can replace you. He said not legal.
I mean, there's many things that aren't legal about this, but
yeah, well,
it doesn't matter, right? Power. When the president can just pardon himself or other people responsible. But take a look at this. Trump's social media company has discussed charging traders and investors as much as $100,000 a month for faster access to the U.S. president's post on his Truth Social platform. And by the way, the Truth Social platform has been proven to move markets. So I guess...
Rule one, David, nothing is true anymore. Nothing's true anymore. You have to work out and get to the closest you can to what is true, because it ain't on the internet. Nothing is true anymore. You have to use your critical faculties and all available tools to define what is as closest to truth as you can. If you can get there, you'll make a lot of money, because there's so much false stuff in the flow these days. So many lies. It's almost hard to find anything that isn't. Yeah. Don't believe me for a minute. Yeah. I'm not lying. I don't need to. But, don't believe anything. It's just not much is true. The truth is out there, but you've got to intersect it. You've got to be like Sherlock Holmes. You've got to put the pieces together.
So then tell us how to follow the news or gather information. You wake up and you do what to educate yourself and inform yourself, given that so much out there is, like you said, not true?
Why are they saying it? It's the old Nixon thing, follow the money. But why are they saying that? What's the point of that? Why are they saying that? Why are people doing divide and conquer? What is divide and conquer? Who does divide and conquer? Why do they do divide and conquer? Why are women socialist and men, right wing? Which is not true. But why are they saying that? Why are the boomers the enemy when the young people are being put upon when it's not true? Why are they saying that? Why are they doing all these things? Not, is it true? I believe it. Why is it said? Right? And then peel it back. Why is it said? And then who said it? And then trace it all back. And you'll find all sorts of interesting outcomes.
What are the number 1 or 2 stories you're following right now for an investor, for yourself?
Well, I'm following the AI thing because that's the big thing, right? Now, either America goes all in to compete or it surrenders. That's what I've traced back to the key pivot. If America wants to remain America, the number one guy on the block, it's got to get its skates on. It's got to go all in because it's been surpassed. It doesn't know it's been surpassed. No one's told it's been surpassed. But when your adversary, which is an old word for enemy, but let's just say your competitor has got 250% more energy than you, you got to get your skates on. So you either get your skates on or you surrender. So that is the big enchilada. That's the whole enchilada. So is America going to keep its skates on or is it going to give up? You see, the Democrats seem to want to give up. And I can understand that. Socialists do, because everyone's my friend. They're all my friend. Oh, the world community. Oh, my friend. They're all our friends, apart from they're not. Right? And the right wing, well, they always want to punch up, and that's not necessarily so good. But who's gonna have the next 10 years? Well, if it's given up, I'm gonna have to make another plan. My money's on America competing and trying to get back its lost ground. And that's going to be a massive economic event. Yeah. Europe's doing it as well. It's behind the power curve, but it's going to happen there too. Right. So if you think that's going to happen and they're going to go all in, which I believe they will, you can afford to take lots of very interesting positions and ride that wave. Yeah. And if they're not, well, you might as well buy an apartment in Chile and make arrangements. Yeah?
Right now, as we speak, gold's at 4,000, the S&P's at 7,400, Bitcoin's at 64,000. It looks like things are forming a base, at least gold and Bitcoin are. Precious metals is, overall, but I'm just using gold as an example. Have markets found a bottom today on the
3,500 on gold. 3,500 on gold. And my catchphrase at the moment is that's probably the roof of the basement. Yeah. So 3,500 and below, that's where it gets spicy for me. I like that. I would be buying some ounces, some kilos under 3,500. Silver under $50, $40. All of a sudden it looks like I should be building a position, maybe a 2-year position. Maybe I should lay in a ton of silver over the next couple of years. Yeah, no hurry. It's not going to go like that. All the people that bought at 100 wanted to go back to where they got from. And then when it gets back to 100, they sell. That's what the Muppets do, right? But anybody that got out when I said it was going to go down is thinking about when they're going to get in. Well, when are you going to get in? That's the question. Not, am I going to get in? You're going to get in, but when are you going to get in? It's going to be 40-ish, isn't it? Under 50, over 30. And you want to acquire it over there, and it's going to go like that. And it's going to be boring for 2 years, and it's going to go bang. Because that's what it does. Just look at history. It's not going to go zoom back up again. And gold, it's going to be 3,500. Just look at the chart.
You mentioned the AI trade is the number one thing you're following. How important right now is Iran for moving the needle on anything right now? CNBC article, oil tanker faces worst case scenario. Tanker after tanker are just getting hit. We see the reduction in the volume of transits through the Strait of Hormuz. And right now, crews of vessels are even more concerned than they were before. That's a bold statement.
Words. Look at the numbers. Words are not your friend. The numbers are your friend, right? In fact, all the people that are going to be pushing back against AI are word people. And because they notice that there's this machine that can do words better than them, and therefore their game is up. Yeah, words. don't listen to words. Look at the numbers.
Well,
It's
the
the
numbers here,
numbers.
at least 9 ships have come under attack since July
Nine
6th.
ships. How many is that? That's naught, right?
Right. So you're looking at this and you're not terribly concerned about oil spiking again and that bring down the entire market. Like that's not a narrative you're following. Like
If
the AI
oil
and Iran are
spiked,
separate. Yeah.
if oil spiked, something is coming. It's not what I'd read in the press. Something is coming. When the price moves, it's what's going to happen, not what you're reading about.
I see.
And probably, if it's acute, it might be coming in a few days or a few weeks. If
That
it's
is an
chronic,
interesting. Yeah, that is an interesting remark that you just made because oil's at $81, and ever since the ceasefire in Iran was broken and they started lobbing missiles at each other again, oil has spiked up, but it hasn't gone back to $100. It's only moved from 70 to 80. Why hasn't it gone back to 100?
because it doesn't matter. It's simple. It really is Occam's razor. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I mean, you can be contrarian. I can give you words, right? But just listen to the number. My words would be that how much can they throw at the rest of the Middle East right now? Not a lot. And every time
Yeah.
they press a button and fire a couple of paper planes, they get landed on big time, 10x, right? Well, that's not sustainable for them, is it?
Okay.
That's just a terrorist action. It's not a war. So, I mean, I might be totally wrong. I don't know. I don't ring up Donald and ask him what the hell's going on. Yeah. The point is, just look at the number. It's numbers. Numbers never lie. And if they do, you want to be out that game, right? The numbers, that is the sum total of what everybody knows from the top to the bottom. Yeah. And there it is. Now, if you want to speculate, you have to come up with a conclusion that is not in the number. So you go, I believe they're going to invade because, blah, blah, whatever reason. Well, yeah, that would change the number. Yeah. And you'll probably be wrong. But if you are a Trump whisperer or an Iran war whisperer, or you've got a, brother-in-law who looks through a satellite, then you've got an opportunity there. But generally, as people like us that sit here at the end of a screen having a load of media lie at us, there's nothing you can do. You have to look beyond a time frame that is now. You have to look out past where people are looking, and people are looking within a time frame, right? So you have to look beyond that. Generally, it's a year.
Yeah. But speaking of thematic changes, is crypto dead?
50-50. Look, crypto is all about being outside the system. Crypto is an anarchist vision of sticking it to the man. And its main use case is sticking it to the man, actually the little man, because it's all about stealing his stuff and running off with it. Every day there's another criminal that gets his crypto seized, or another criminal that runs off with more money than any bank robber ever did. You peel that away, what have you got? You haven't got much. Even your country's governance is mired by, potentially very aromatic behavior in crypto, i.e., the Trump coin, etc., and all that good malarkey. Yeah. So it's gone from being a outlaw money to being part of the system. It's been embraced by Wall Street and all those vampires, and they've got their teeth stuck in it. Well, they don't push forward the anarchist dream of independent money.
Yeah.
They just drain the pond, don't they? They just suck the blood out of the creature and let it die. So, now it's inside the system, part of the system. Stable coins will be a thing.
Okay.
New use cases in crypto that is coming will be a thing because they've made it not a federal offense to actually play with this stuff. That will come along and that will be massive.
Yeah.
But the old stuff, I think that you're going to find that the old stuff is going to dwindle because it's just not safe. It's not safe to have crypto. You get robbed. Everyone gets robbed all the time. I don't know anybody in the industry that hasn't been robbed with 5 or 6 figure sums, sometimes 7
I think anybody with a considerable amount of wealth is at risk of getting robbed or kidnapped these days. I don't know if it's exclusively with just the crypto crowd.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Crypto is because if you break into my place and you take my Van Gogh, yeah, everybody knows what the Van Gogh is. Everybody knows it was stolen. You can't sell it. Yeah, but if you steal my crypto, it vanishes into the ether, ends up with Kim Jong-un, who then washes it through Hong Kong, and then it ends up somewhere, else in Dubai, and pops up it's gold and goes somewhere. And you can read what that environment, because it's in the crypto press every day, right? And the American government are seizing hundreds of millions of this stuff because they found a way of getting at it. But it's not like being stuck up in the street by a guy who's on a camera, yeah, and he takes your watch. But what's he going to do with the watch? It's not that at all. It's the anonymity of the theft. It's the frictionlessness of the theft. It's the immediacy of the theft. One of my mates got stuck up. They broke into his house and put a knife to his throat and said, "Give me your crypto." And he said, "I haven't got any." So they didn't get any because he hadn't got any. But that, because once they got it, it's gone. Yeah, which you can't say that about much other robberies. You got $1 million in dollar bills, you've got a problem. How the hell are you going to get rid of them? $1 million in crypto, gone.
Clem, let's wrap up now. By the way, Clem's a regular on the show. Please comment down below or write to us in the emails. I'll put my email in the description. If you want to see Clem next time talk about any of your favorite asset classes, write to us to let us know what you'd like us to cover for our next interview with Clem. What would you like to talk about, Clem, next time? What's on your mind these days?
What I'm going to say is this. This is what's on my mind now.
Yeah, give us a teaser, Clem.
Are getting near their bottom. They're not there yet. They're getting close. And when they get close, they're not going to do any crazy rally unless something weird happens. They're going to kind of tick along. And then anybody who's sensible will dollar cost average into it. They just build up a position slowly but surely, not so they have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning to check the price. Yeah, so they just build up a position. In a couple of years, it will go mad, and then they should sell. Now, in AI, people don't get it. People don't understand what it is. They think it's ChatGPT when it's not. It's the infrastructure underneath AI that's massive. Because if you had mined crypto, you would get it. Not many people have. I used to have a wall full of crypto miners, and it's a hardware play, a power and hardware play. Yeah. And there's no second place in intelligence. There's no natural limit to demand. And the actual models, it's going to be a rolling thunder forever. And they're going to be getting better and better and need more and more infrastructure. And that infrastructure is going to boil the oceans. So stake out the AI infrastructure as if you would staked out the internet infrastructure in 98 or in 2002. And just build up your positions, work out the chain of value. It goes all the way from the LLMs, all the way down to Goldman Sachs. It's a big chain of value. And that is going to go non-linear. Yeah, and pick your spot. And that's going to be a 10-year thing, maybe 20 years, like the internet, right? Oh, there's dot-com crash. Well, if you'd bought Amazon in 1998, you'd be a very happy boy now. Yeah, and likewise, if you bought Nvidia in 1990, whatever it was, you'd be a very happy boy now. And so on and so forth. Yeah, it's a long-term position that's going to be exponential, logarithmic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So now don't watch tomorrow's news or next week's news. Find the positions for the next 10 years and stake them out. Spread out a diversified portfolio of risk in AI and build it up. Don't watch the news. Just build it up, diversified portfolio of AI, infrastructure, value chain. And in 10 years' time, you'll be the smartest kid in your street.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Thank you very much, Clem. We'll put the links down below so you can follow Clem on his social media and on his website. And I'll give you my email, of course. Write to me or let us know in the comments down below what you'd like to see next time. Take care, Clem. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye now.
Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, like this video, and follow Clem. Links down below.